One of my favorite interviews of the week. Let's welcome Idaho head football coach Jason Eck on our Fat Guys Fresh Deli hotline. Big hour coming up. And Coach, welcome back. A heartbreaker, but such an amazing journey. And I enjoyed it the whole way. And I just want to know, first off, obviously, welcome. But how are you putting this season into perspective, Coach? What's up?
Well, even though we're disappointed with how the year went, I think there's a lot of things that are positive to look back on. And I think our seniors are really leaving behind a great legacy of, our first winning season in a long time, our first playoff appearance since the 90s, getting the little Brown Stein back. I think there's a lot that we accomplished, but, that's for them to celebrate. I think for the guys coming back and our staff, we need to quickly move on to getting better because the message I had to the team meeting once our seniors left is if we perform just the way we did this year, we're probably not going to be a playoff team next year. We got to get better. We got to make just as big of a jump as we did from 21 to 22, from 22 to 23, if we want to be a team that could win the Big Sky and a team that could get a bye in the first round of the playoffs, which really is the avenue to making a run.
I think people are going to go back and talk about the Hatton-Jackson era of Vandal football because those two wide receivers collectively, hell, individually put on shows this season in the playoff game as well. They're coming back. I mean, what's it like, those receivers, those playmakers? You said it on Idaho Sports Talk first. Hayden Hatton has the best hands I've seen at the FCS level since Cooper Kupp. The announcers said that on the game broadcast, Coach. And I remember saying, he said that on Idaho Sports Talk first. But, Coach, those two, what weapons you had and what years that they had, your receivers, man, big playmakers.
Well, it's rare to have two 2,000-yard receivers on the same team in college. And then it's even more rare to have them coming back for another year. They weren't seniors. So we're blessed that way. Now, I might have to check their phones every time they come into the facility to make sure FBS schools aren't trying to slide into their DMs because I've already seen some other receivers in our conference who aren't nearly as good as those guys picking up Power 5 offers. I mean, they're Power 5 players. And, again, our goal here is we're not going to recruit a lot of Power 5 players, but if we pick the right guys and we develop them, we need to have a bunch of Power 5 players when they're fifth-year seniors and fourth-year juniors, and then hopefully they're having such a great experience playing at the University of Idaho and realizing that we're going to help them reach their full potential, even though they could go in the transfer portal and go anywhere in the country. They don't want to. They want to stay here and finish their career and then go to the NFL from Idaho.
We're talking Idaho football coach Jason Eck, fresh off the playoff appearance, fresh off of a magical season in Moscow. Coach Eck, let's talk about that magical season. No coach speak here. Honest, nothing but honest opinions. What were the 2 or 3 things why this football team was so successful this year?
I think the first thing I'd say is just mental toughness and resiliency. And even in our last game, I think it was up for grabs, you could see it, the game we lost, there was a couple times during that game, we threw a pick 6, with 4 minutes left to go down 10. And I think it would be easy for everybody to start packing their bags and, thinking about the charter. And, we hit a quick touchdown, got a stop on defense and got the ball back and had a field goal the last play of the game to try to send it into overtime. So, even in the face of things not going right, I think this team continued to fight. And I told our seniors, I think that's going to bode well for the rest of their lives because as you guys go into life, you're going to have adversity you have to deal with and things that don't go your way. And you can't always control that, but how you respond, you can control. And I think that was the biggest thing, that defined it. And, I think the second thing was just the excitement. I think it was fun to see so many Vandal fans, re-engaged or proud to wear their Vandal gear around and just hear from so many people who, this is their first year back on campus in a long time. And, people who are just, excited about Vandal football again. And I think that's momentum we can keep building on going into the next year.
You said something just a minute ago that kind of, it was pretty strong in terms of, if we get as good as we did this next year as we did this year, it's not going to be enough. You have to double in the improvement of what you had. That's a lot of pressure, Coach. And I'm assuming whatever you say in public, you're saying to your team 1,000 times, so they know it, they can handle it. But why do you say that? And why do you kind of put that pressure on these kids?
Well, I think we got to understand, one, I think we probably snuck up on some people this year. I think you look at a team like Montana. I think they probably thought Idaho was going to roll in there just like they had the last 7 times they played them, and they're going to get an easy win. Where next year I think we're going to have people's attention. I think Northern Arizona, probably that first game when we came down there, they probably thought they had a win lined up. The first conference game, Idaho at home, when Idaho's I think we were 2-13 in Big Sky play on the road until this year. We were 3-1 in Big Sky play on the road. So that's one, and then our schedule's tougher. This year, the 3 teams that we missed this year in the Big Sky rotation, 2 of them were playoff teams. We missed Montana State and Weber State, who we pick up, and then we missed Cal Poly. Cal Poly did not have a great year this year, but I'm sure Coach Baldwin will have them better. Well, the teams we miss next year, Northern Arizona, Portland State, had losing records this year, and even the best team, Cal Davis, who we miss next year, was only 6-5. So you just look at the records of the 3 teams we're picking up versus the 3 teams we're trading out for. It's going to be a tougher road. So I believe in this team. I believe we can make a big jump, but I think there is a difference between making the playoffs and being a true contender in the playoffs as well. And, to me, to be a true contender out of our league, you got to get one of those 8 top seeds and get a bye in the first round.
Yeah, that schedule sounds that's definitely an upgrade in the schedule. And I have my notes, but I've lost track, and I'm not sure I've kept them up to date. Are your 2 big Power 5 not Power 5, your 2 big non-conference games next year at Nevada and at Cal? Is that still accurate?
That's correct. And then it's not finalized. We're working on our schedule for our last game. I think right now we have a Division II game, but our administration has done a great job of trying to be aggressive to try to get us playing all Division I schedule, which is a lot better for the playoffs. But that's not a done deal. Hopefully in the next month we'll be able to make an announcement on that.
Jason Eck, Idaho Vandal head football coach, right here on Idaho Sports Talk. Coach, the early signing period is less than a month away now. At the FCS level, do you like to have kids signed early signing period so you can get them and try to get them on campus in January? Or sometimes do you let kids slip through the cracks and save some spots open? You can sign them back in February when maybe their FBS dreams maybe don't realize or come to fruition and they have a home to play at Idaho. How do you guys handle the early signing period, Coach?
We want to be very aggressive with it. We want to do a great job of evaluating. We want all our evaluations to be just on our internal program. We don't want to offer guys just because other people in our conference have offered them.
Okay.
We want to be early to the party. Again, I'd love to, be the first one to offer kids because we've done a great job of doing our homework and we believe in them. And, right now, we have 37 players committed for next year, 23 on scholarship and 14 as walk-ons.
Wow.
And again, all those walk-ons are guys that we believe can be scholarship players down the road. They're not just practice bodies. So we want to be very aggressive. And, our message to our signees is our signing period is in December. So if anyone, gets cold feet at the last minute and tells us, hey, Coach, I'm not ready to sign in December, that's telling us we need to reopen the recruitment for their spot and look forward. But we want to be aggressive with that early period. Again, I think we'll probably have a few scholarships left for the late period as well. But we want guys who want to be here. We want to do a great job building relationships with them over a long period of time. And we don't want to be, our model is not to be vultures and just try to swoop in late and see what's left.
I think I asked you this question in the last couple of weeks in terms of capitalizing on this success. In terms of, you got recruiting handled. How do you aggressively chase resources? And I guess my specific question is, what do you do this offseason to build resources, specifically things you can have in hand in the next 12 months? What's your priority in terms of going to the administration, going to campus leadership and saying, in the next 6 months, I need this, 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 and this?
Well, I think it's more working together with them. And, again, I think our success of the football program has, and again, modest success, just making the playoffs, I think has, got a lot of our fan base excited. So I'm hoping that we can add some new people to our, donation lists and also get some people who are already giving to up their commitment, to keep getting what we need here, to help win a national championship here. And, again, I think it's more, working with our fundraisers and working with our administration to get the things we need here and trying to build it. And, I think that's a process of going back and forth and, what's important, what's the most important. I think that's a constant back and forth battle because there's, the people cost. I think a big reason we're doing better is the people we have right now in the building, coaches and players. And, now with name, image, and likeness, there's a part of where you can reward the players for that. So I think we got to do that and try to do some things for the people. But then you also want to have some bricks and mortar that are going to be, here a lot longer than I'm the head coach here. Anybody here is there. So it's a balance of trying to do a little bit both ways and trying to prioritize and what we realistically can get done, like you said, in the next 6 months for next season, and what's more of a long-term project that we want to do in the next 3, 5, or 10 years. But I do think it's critical in college athletics that you continue to have a growth mindset and keep ahead of how we can continue to get things better because the landscape constantly changes.
Jason Eck, Idaho Vandal head football coach here on Prater in the Ballgame. Staffs don't stay intact very long anymore. When you win, they raid you. When they lose, they get rid of you. There's very few in between here. And I wanted to get your thoughts on our buddy, Charlie Regal. It was announced yesterday. He left after 1 year, a difficult year in Pocatello, coach. A little bit about that program, and he's going to be a special teams assistant head coach in the Pac-12, and we will get him to cough up that tab that he owes us, coach. He's taking Prater, you and I out, and we're going to rack that up. He's got Pac-12 money now too, coach. But
there's got to be some kicker in Boise he can come to recruit and get a recruiting trip up here. Yeah, somebody Arizona State can recruit in Boise in the whole Treasure Valley. So
we got to get him to cough up that. But just all in all, Charlie Regal, 1 year in. Dirk Cutter told us yesterday he was disappointed, but he gets it, and that's just the nature of the beast now, huh? Your thoughts? No more of this Eck versus Regal battle of the domes. You're going to get a new guy next year.
Well, I want to know. I'll retire as the champion against Regal head to head. But I'll say this: a lot of people have asked me, especially guys who've been head coaches, how are you enjoying being a head coach? And I'm enjoying it, but I do see where it's not for everybody. I mean, there's a lot changes, and again, I don't get as much time of just watching film in the dark room and coming up with ideas, a scheme, just because there's more people that I'm dealing with and more people I'm touching and more media things and booster things than you do as an assistant. So it definitely is a different experience. I think that's magnified by how much money the Power 5 schools are paying now. I mean, Charlie's probably got more money and less problems, so, happy for him, that way. And, but I'm really enjoying it here. I enjoy being a head coach. I enjoy, the staff that I've built together. And again, I can't imagine, with the staff I have, leaving, taking an assistant job and leaving them kind of hanging in the wind just because they have shown a lot of faith in me, moving their families here to Idaho. Half of my staff had never been to Idaho, when they did this job. So I'm loving what we're building here. Again, I do think for the Big Sky Conference, you want everybody to be competitive because that helps your, strength of schedule and all that. So I hope Idaho State can make a good hire and get things back heading in the right direction. But until then, we'll just try to get all the best FCS players in the state to come play for us at Idaho.
Coach Jack, we're about to dive into one of our shenanigans segments. Nothing's that too serious when it's Ballgame and myself. And first of all, I have to say I'm very disappointed you didn't wear a visor.
Yes.
And number two, I'm wearing this jacket today because I was told this morning that I had to throw on a jacket because I'm going to the wife's company Christmas party tonight. It's not even December 1st. And I know you look like a kind of a guy that can enjoy a good party, and I cannot wait to party with you one day over some food. But is December, November 30th, is that, or I guess it's the 29th.
It's the 29th, right? Man.
Is that too early for a Christmas party? Would you go to a Christmas party in November?
Well,
I know you didn't expect that question, but we're going to spend the next 2 minutes debating
I think he's going to one tonight. That's why he doesn't have the visor on, Prater.
I think as long as it's post-Thanksgiving, I think it's good. Now, pre-Thanksgiving, no, that's a party foul because you have to celebrate holidays in chronological order. But I think as soon as, Thanksgiving hits and Black Friday starts, it's fair game. So I support you going to this party tonight. Good luck. I wish I was going.
By the way, is Ballgame right? Is your idea of formal wear taking off the visor?
No, I dress up. I don't know if I quite rock the suit coat with the hoodie like you. That's a look that only Prater can pull off. But
Prater.
She told me to put on a jacket. I dressed like I normally do, and then I threw on a jacket.
I love it. Coach Ford and our staff likes that look. Or he
Yes.
can pull that off too. It's a rare look that can be pulled off, but you guys both do it flawlessly.
Honestly, where is the visor though? I really got to ask. Why aren't you wearing a visor right now?
Usually I'm coming on before practice. Sadly, it's because our ass got beat last week, and I'm sitting there. I get to go to practice today, so I didn't earn the right to wear a visor by losing 45-42.
Oh, brutal.
Hopefully next year we can get past the first round, and I can talk to you guys and head out to practice like I usually do.
One of my favorite.
Now I got to do meetings all day instead of practice.
Yeah, no visor for the meetings. It was such a blessing getting to watch you guys. You guys lit up the scoreboard, action-packed stuff. It was such a fun team to watch. One of my favorite of all time, and can't wait to see this program grow. Coach, we'll be in touch. Not sure when and where, but we love having you on Idaho Sports Talk, and hit us up. Hopefully you'll be coming to our area a few times with the whole recruiting process. We want you to bring.
I will be down there. I will be down there in December and January, and I will always be sure to stop through the studios.
Oh, hell yeah. Coach, enjoy it, man. Appreciate you. And Prater will go to the party tonight and not complain that it's too early.
Yeah, maybe.
V's up.
V's up, Coach Jason Eck. Wonder what you guys think. Is it too early to call a party a holiday or a Christmas party?
I mean, the obvious answer is yes.
I mean, it's November 29th.
Yes.
I think it's too early to call this, but I will say I like the fact that maybe you're getting a few